Hi there.
Hi, welcome back to Curious Collection. I'm Will.
I'm Cinnamon.
Today we're going to talk about what we sold yesterday, what's shipping out this morning, and how you could build your business. We've built our business around small items that sell over the long tail. We're doing everything wrong if you listen to gurus, but it's worked into a business for us, and we're going to explain how it is that we do that. We had a comment on one of our videos the other day. We said that we have 12,000 items in our main store. We have another 1,200 items in our secondary store, but we still managed to do that out of 2 small rooms in our home, and it's a successful business. We're talking about $100,000 a year in annual sales plus.
And success for us means that we can support our household, right? And spend time with each other and the boy and all of that. That's what success means to us. We don't have the same definition of success as other people do. So our success is $100,000 in sales. Like, that was awesome this year, 2023.
Right. 2024, we're looking forward. We're planning on growing our business. We're planning on increasing the amount of active listings by 20%. We're looking at increasing our overall sales, hopefully by 20%, and getting us to that $120,000 annual sales figure.
Right. That's what success is, not the, $500,000 business. Like, I don't want to hire employees. That's not success to us.
Right. So we do our entire business, the two of us. We don't want to hire employees. I've actually owned a business in the past where I had 5 employees that worked for me. I had a business partner, and that, we did almost $500,000 in sales annually. It was an incredible nightmare with payroll, with employee management, with sick calls, with all of the things that you deal with when you have employees. Now,
I'm not saying that's just not our jam.
Right. I'm not saying that there's not a success model there either. Right. Clearly there is, but it's not something that we're looking forward.
Right. So there's lots of different ways to run your business. This is what works for us.
Right. So everything that we sell in our store virtually under 5 pounds has free shipping. And when I give you the totals, it's going to include the shipping on that, as well as whatever the local sales tax is. So keep in mind, we try to keep our input costs extremely low. And I'll kind of talk about what our average input cost would be on some of the products that we sold. Keeping in mind, okay, so this is what we sold yesterday. You want to hold up those 2 pieces. This is our entire sales. This is right. This is 430. What? I lost the screen. I'm sorry. We had there we go. $420. $419.25. Absolutely takes up no space. A lot of items here, though. A lot of pieces, low value, things that people can afford to get. So start off very quickly. North Carolina license plate sold for $22.09. Our input cost on that, $2 or less. And that also includes shipping. So our price, our profit on that after fees, shipping, everything, we're probably going to be around $10. Last year, we did, just in the state of Florida license plates, we did $1,900 in sales on one state.
And oftentimes with those license plates, again, we're buying whole collections. We went to a flea market and we bought out, actually, I think that's twice now that we've gone to a flea market and bought out someone's license plate collections.
Yes. Yeah, we've bought out 2 license plate collections from vendors, as well as an entire jewelry booth. So there are a lot of people looking to get out of the market. It may be a great opportunity to expand your offerings.
The Fiesta where we bought out that collection as well. So that's how we're able to get those input costs so low, is because we just buy the entire thing.
Right. Another thing we bought out an entire thing of is these photographs that she's going to show. We've got 2 different photographs. These went to the same buyer. This is the great thing about buying collections for us. The first one there, the red tugboat, $14.03. The second one, $19.43. They're going to ship together. Our combined shipping cost on that will be probably less than $5. And you're looking at a combined total of $33. So our input cost on those prints, less than $1 a piece. We're going to make, $25 or so in profit on that.
Right. And it doesn't take up any room. Yes, you have to wait for that right buyer to come along. But when that buyer comes along, they're like, ooh, I like that one and that one.
Right.
Which helps to have that depth in the category that we've talked about so much. Is that then you can get those people who want those multiple lot orders, and so that's very helpful.
Right. So you see the file cabinets behind us. You can fit about 10,000 listings, when you're talking about single pages in a single file cabinet. So it's not like we're overrun with product in the file cabinets. It's not taking over our entire house, even though the entire backdrop in this video is full of
right. But the rest of my house does not have work products in it. We could close the door at the end of the day and have that separation of work and life.
Right. And those are long tail items. We've had those photographs for about a year now. So they are slow to sell. When they sell, great margin.
Yeah.
The goal of everything that we do is that we have so many listings up that people will engage with, and they're multi-quantity so they can get multiple pieces if it's the subject matter that they're interested in. So next up, we've got these Bricklin magazines. Now we have 6 magazines here. This person bought $90 worth of magazines. They're going to all ship together. They're going to ship for less than $7. And if you just want to hold those up, our input cost on magazines is typically less than 50 cents a piece. So 50 cents turns into a $90 sale. Even working it out, it's $3.90. And last year, I'm looking at our screen, we did $5,361 in magazine sales. Now, these are incredibly rare magazines. These are only issued to collectors of this Bricklin car, and you had to be a member of the club in order to get onto that subscription list. So that's why they're selling. But again, it doesn't mean that other people can't do the same thing. If there's incredibly rare niche items or magazines, I wouldn't sell National Geographics. We don't sell National Geographics. They're way mass produced. There's low value. These are higher value and they're sought after.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got some pearl.
Yeah, these are really, really pretty. So these are some brown, like Tahitian pearls. With a 14 karat gold clasp. So this is both the necklace and the bracelet. So what an amazing, to be able to get the matching set with that gold clasp. And you can see that they've got like a yellowy brown chocolate pearl. Just a really pretty set.
Absolutely gorgeous set. Those, after everything, $97.75 on that. Now, again, that's a higher end piece. That's going to give us some good profit.
We don't We don't buy gold by the piece typically, okay? Because the input cost is way too high for me and I get burned. So I have learned that if I buy collections, if I buy lots.
The entire jewelry box?
Right. If I buy the entire jewelry box, occasionally there's found gold. Occasionally someone else wouldn't have seen that piece, and then I'm able to get the whole collection and take one piece to get my money back.
Right.
And sometimes it's just dumb luck. Sometimes it's spotting it and other people don't, because that is my craft, right? That is my niche. So I'm learning to spot these things and I'm getting better at it. So, some of it is luck and some of it is just education.
Okay. Next up, now we've told you before, and you've seen some of the ship photographs. This is the SS France. This is a photograph of the ship. Came out of the same collection again, and that sold for $14.32. We've got 3 different cruise ephemera. These were all purchased by the same buyer. And so the first 2 pieces, their combined total was $46.35 on these. And again, our input costs are going to be very low because we're buying an entire collection. There's not a lot of people that want to buy 10,000 of any specific category, because a casual collector or a person that might have been on one of these boats, they don't want the other boats. They don't have an interest in that. So our cost per piece might be 50 cents. It might be $1. And then this one here sold for $21.19 individually. We have another cruise related item. It's a Carnival Cruise pin. And again, because we sell, cruise ephemera, we try to keep into the theme. $13.77. No, we're not killing it on that specific item. But when you offer those low value items, it does offer the opportunity for people to put multiple pieces together if they choose. Talking about magazines like we were, we've got an Easy Rider magazine, $10.69. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about magazines and shipping. So I've mentioned it in the past. A lot of people will put up the magazine. They assume it's media, so it falls in the media mail category. That is not accurate. If it has advertising in it, it is not legal under USPS guidelines to ship it as media mail. It has to be either priority or ground advantage. So we ship the vast majority of our pieces of magazines with ground advantage. It's going to cost you a couple dollars extra, but you're following the law. Right. And that is the first rule. We always want to follow the law. We do not want to be in violation of any eBay policy, any USPS policy, any federal or state policies.
We're kind of sticklers about that.
Yeah. So it's for us, like I said, we're running a $100,000 business. We do not want to do anything to compromise or jeopardize what it is that we're doing for an income.
If the periodical has advertisements in it,
it doesn't matter how old it is.
Yep,
It could be a Life magazine from 1928. If it has advertisements in it,
can't be media mail.
Cannot use media mail.
That's for me. Like, I don't know all the rules about everything. He's my shipping guru. But that much I do know. If it's got any type of advertisement in it, it is not media mail.
Right. And then finally, the last thing we've got today that's going out, $11.69. And we did give this person an offer. It's a World War II era, 1944 General Motors diesel. And you can see the heavy equipment there, that crane lifting like a piece of...
And then there's the soldier there, too.
Yeah. So
GM.
$11.69. We're not going to make a ton on that. But again, that came from a magazine that was either torn or stained or damaged in some way, that couldn't be sold on its own. Like I said, it's National Geographic. We don't sell National Geographics, but we got a really good deal on like 1,000 National Geographics.
There were so many. It filled up my entire car, and then my car was like low to the ground.
We might have broke the car. It might have been damaged by that. But that's the type of thing. So on our print ads, we're usually making $5 to $7 profit after all of our expenses. So is it worth selling print ads as a store? No, I would definitely not do that if that's your entire income.
Right. That's one of the things that we've talked about is like, he does awesome with his postcards, but putting topographical and non-topographical together, he got about $7,000 last year. The magazines, he does awesome in those magazines. He's very high on that metric list or whatever. But again, that was only, the $4,000 or whatever.
$5,400 approximately $5,400 in magazine sales.
So all of those categories that we're putting our items into, like they're great for us because they are small. They can fit in the filing cabinet. There's something
low
you find
cost.
Interest in.
Right.
The low input cost. The shipping is super easy and cheap. But we can't just do everything in that because that's not going to support our household.
Right. There's broad collector interest in that category or high demand for quality items.
But they do have a low sell-through rate.
Right. So we've talked about, as an example in this, our cruise ephemera. So last year, I'm looking at our list, we did $7,800 in cruise ephemera other category. We were the number 2 seller last year at $7,800.
Right.
That's clearly not a business that can be supported only selling cruise related material.
Right.
And then we also had cruise line ephemera Cunard line, we did $1,800. So even putting the two together,
And we were pretty high on that list as well.
we were the number one seller for a while last year. I think we may
Mhm.
have dropped off to 2 or 3, but we've started selling out of the product. That
Right.
was really the problem, is that there's
only so much
pipeline.
Cunard that you can get.
Right. There's not a pipeline of antique paper. So even putting the two together, 1,800 and 5,300, you can't live on
Not
just
on
those
$7,000.
two categories.
Right. So, you've got $7,000 on postcards and $7,000 on cruise ships and
15 in photographs. We're building a business, layering category over category over category in the niches that make sense to put together.
Transportation.
Right.
So you've got your Bricklin magazines, that's cars. We've got a lot of train photographs and, some things like that. So, we're able to kind of piece together our business on those things that he finds interest in, but you can't do it on just one.
Right.
One niche.
We
Not
couldn't
with what we
possibly
do.
do it in any one of these specific categories.
Even
alone.
my jewelry wouldn't be able to support the business by
'cause
itself.
We actually pulled the numbers on that.
Right. My jewelry, I got just a quick little ad. I've got about $18,000 in jewelry last year. The first part of the year, I was doing a lot of photographs, and that's total sales. That's, so, and that doesn't count the input cost, right? We all know that there is input cost in that. So that's not going to support the household by itself either. So we do have to piecemeal a bunch of different categories together in order to make it work. And as we find some of those categories are just not working for us, we kind of, the cat figurines, not really working for us. So maybe we don't put any more energy into that category,
right?
Which is why it's also really important to know your numbers so that you can look at those and look at those metrics and decide, okay, well, maybe that's not for us. The jeans, we tried jeans and we were getting like $4 profit on $2 profit. Okay, well, that didn't work for us. If it works for you, that's awesome. Like I'm not putting that down at all. We're just talking about what works for our household and our interest as well. Again, jewelry is what excites me. If I had to list his stuff, I would be miserable, and vice versa. So, those are just some of my thoughts on that.
Absolutely. I think the big takeaway is, build a business, make it look like what you want. There's not one business model that's right for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The criticism, oh, well, you're running a storage business. If I want to run a storage business and it works for me, then that's great.
Right. Yeah. And it does work for us because of the fact that we walk into the situation knowing that these are slow sell items. So we're like, okay, well, if it's going to take forever to sell, then at least we can just throw it in a filing cabinet. Like, that's easy. And then when we pull it, that's easy. It's file folder number 32. Okay, let me pull that item out, throw it in a board, and bam, it's done.
One of the big measurements that I use is how fast is the item going to sell versus my input cost. If I can buy an item for $2 and sell it for $100 in 2 years, then that has a equal amount of value to me as the item that I can buy for, let's say $20 and sell for $100 the next day, right? They have equal value in my mind because I still know that I'm going to make that same profit. Mm-hmm. I can be patient. I can wait for a year or two to get the good money when I know that it's definitely going to come in and I don't have the money invested in it. If the money's not caught up,
other part.
We've bought some items for, say, $100 or $200, and if it sits here for 6 months,
it hurts my heart.
We could have taken that $200 item, the input cost, and we could have flipped it 6 times by the time that other item sold. Mm-hmm. That hurts. When you're talking about a 50-cent input cost on a magazine.
That doesn't hurt if it's just sitting in the cupboard. Like, it really doesn't hurt my heart to know that we have a bunch of stuff in those file cabinets because it's not taking up my brain space. Those big boxes that are in the stock room, when I see those, and that takes up my brain space.
Right.
This stuff, no, that's fine.
Right. So I hope everyone is having a successful January, whatever success looks like for you.
Right.
If we're adding any benefit to your life, please like and subscribe. And if you have anything you'd like to add at all, throw it down in the comments section.
Thanks so much, guys. Good luck to you out there.